Big update from DeepSeek as we have a new DeepSeek version 3 update, also known as DeepSeek 0324. Some people are calling it DeepSeek version 3.1, and it is one of the best non-reasoning models out there right now. So you can see the benchmarks here, this tweet from Zeofarm, and I'm going to show you exactly how to get free access to it, plus how it performs from my own test today. But you can see here that it is actually performing much better versus the previous version. So these are the benchmarks. This is the new version of DeepSeek, DeepSeek V3 0324, and this is the old version, which is DeepSeek Chat. Now, some people are actually comparing it to Claude 3.7 Sonnet, which I'll be doing as well. And this was just announced a few hours ago. Now, if you actually go to the DeepSeek website, you can get access to this for free. And also, I'll be showing you how to get a free API key from DeepSeek V3 0324. That is a bit of a mouthful, to be honest with you. But we're going to go through this step by step, and I'll show you exactly how to use it, plus what it means. How is this different? So essentially, if you want to get started with this, you can go to deepseek.com, then you can go to start now, and you get access right here. Also, it's available inside LM Arena. So, for example, if we go to lmarena.ai, then we go to direct chat, and from here, we're going to select DeepSeek. All right, so just type DeepSeek here, and you'll see DeepSeek V30324 selectable in the drop down right there, right? And then you can start chatting it with it and giving it prompts. The other way, and this is probably my preferred way right now, you can actually get a free API key and you can use the chat directly inside OpenRouter, and this is free to use. As you can see, there is a paid version as well, but if you want to use it completely for free, then you can use it that way too. And I'll show you some of the creations that we've made with it in a second. Now, the other problem right here is that because the DeepSeek website is updating, the server comes back busy quite often. So I've done a few prompts with it today. I'll show you what I've created and what I think of it so far versus how it's performing. So you can see here, for example, the server is busy. Please try again later. I think it's been flooded with people using it. And also, when these AIs are typically updated, usually beta, they're quite buggy anyway. So let's get straight into it and we'll start running through the new update. So let me show you an example of what we actually built here. I'm going to pull this up for you so you can have a cheeky gander. So what I've said is build out an amazing keyword research tool in HTML with room to insert Google AI API keys to generate responses, make it modern and super useful, right? So I wanted to try and create like a SaaS tool on the fly. I will say it was quite slow when I was trying to test it out. If we scroll down and we look, it's created the code, which is awesome. The other thing that I like about this is when you're using tools like DeepSeek, Claude is the same as well. It has this artifacts feature, so you don't have to run the HTML code externally or preview it. You can just click run HTML like so. This tool actually works pretty well. So as an example of this, we're just going to pull this up, and I'm going to grab an API key. I'm going to grab a free one from AI Studio, Google AI Studio, and then we can plug this into our tool, right? So I'm going to go here. This is the AI-powered keyword research tool. They've even named it Keyword Genius. It looks fairly nice, to be fair, kind of similar to what something that Claude would do. And then we'll click Generate, and from here, it's generate the responses, right? And we could download this CSV, Excel. We've got the generated keywords. It's got some ideas for keywords down here as well, with the competition scores, the percentages, cost per click, etc. I wouldn't trust the data that much, but you get the idea. And you can switch between like question keywords, long tail keywords, or normal keywords as well, which is super useful. And yeah, just created like a really easy SaaS tool in like 1 minute. Also, you can plug in an API key. So I did this earlier inside the chat. You can just grab an API key, plug it in there, hit save settings, boom shakalaka. We can start generating stuff using this, right? Really easy to do. And let's see if this works. I'm going to put dentist here as well, just to customize it and test like, okay, is this actually working? So you see here, generates the keywords with AI. And then, yeah, we've got a bunch of ideas for keywords right here. So pretty simple, pretty easy to do. Create the SaaS software basically perfectly first time round. Also, when I try and do this stuff with like Bolt.new, it quite often breaks. That's why I don't really use those tools anymore. Whereas with DeepSeek V3 0324, it just did its magic straight off the bat, right? Pretty powerful stuff. And if we keep going through here, this is an article I wrote with DeepSeek. So basically use this prompt, quite a detailed prompt on how to create content, etc. Put in some source context about me. And then if we have a look at the output here, so it's created an SEO optimized article with the keyword front loaded inside the title. The article itself reads pretty nicely. It's also got a CTA with a link direct to my page. And bear in mind, this is free, right? Like there doesn't seem to be a limit on this. So, you know, if you were comparing it to something like Claude 3.7, Claude 3.7 is awesome for writing content. But the problem is it does have a limit, right? And if you want to upgrade, then you have to spend like $20 a month, which is not affordable for everyone watching this. Whereas, for example, inside DeepSeek, DeepSeek.com, you just go in, it's completely free. You don't need to worry about anything. You've got all your chat history back here, and then you can get straight into it, right? And it actually writes pretty nice content, like you can see. Pretty easy to read. And also, like, it customizes the content to us. It's fairly humanized and that sort of thing, but not bad at all. All right, next up, what I did was I asked it to create an SEO cost calculator with a modern design. As you can see right here, so we've got the HTML code back. And let's open this up. So run the HTML. This one was okay, not bad. I mean, it's not as modern as I would like it, to be honest with you. But let's check if it works. So I'm going to click on the drop downs, select an option right there. And you can see it works perfectly. So it's calculate the cost. Nice little tool to use. You could easily embed that onto your website, customize it to whatever industry you're in. And pretty simple and easy. Now, the other way that you can use this, like I was saying, is you can go over to the chat room inside Open Rotor, and then you can use the chat here. And I've actually got better outputs from this, quite surprisingly, right? So, for example, if we go to LiveWeave and we test out the HTML, so I said, create a beautiful landing page from SEO agency, kept it really simple. Like there's nothing really fancy about that prompting style or anything like that. And that's one of the things I do like about this model is like you don't have to go overboard in terms of the prompting. And if we grab the HTML, so we'll copy that. And again, this is free. So you're using DeepSeek V3, the free version inside OpenRouter. We go over here, we'll plug in the code, and we have that back. It's actually looking pretty nice. Look at that. Let's pull this up. Nice little design right there. Gradiented background, includes all the information about us, added some testimonials here, and did it really quickly as well. So pretty powerful stuff there, pretty easy to use, didn't take long at all, and you can get access for free. And I would say it's at the similar level. The only problem that I'm finding is like DeepSeek server is going to get overloaded, and then you can't use it. You can also go to Hugging Face. Hugging Face have an option to use DeepSeek and the new version of it as well. So that's another option. And let me show you some of the other things and what people are saying about it, right? So let me pull this up. It's DeepSeek. So someone actually created an app, like you can see right here, kind of like interactive animation, which is pretty nice. And then I did see a Three.js code game. Here we go. Yeah, so this is the new DeepSeek model. And this actually compares all three models. So this is a tweet from Dipanshu, who says, O3 Mini looked good initially, but it didn't get the physics right. But DeepSeek, with its new V3 update, actually gives a better output, right? So if we open this up, let's see what we got here. So DeepSeek, DeepSeek R1, and O3 Mini. And you can see that DeepSeek's physics here, in terms of the modeling, are much smoother, much nicer, right, in terms of the output. So really interesting to see that as well. Considering like O3 Mini is a much more advanced model, and it's an O3, and it's a reasoning model, right? That's the other thing to know about this. Here's another example. So this looks like an app someone's built for the weather, which looks pretty cool. Someone built a Three.js game over here. Look at that. That's pretty crazy, to be fair, that you can build that. I mean, you can see it's just one big prompt. So you can see the prompt here. Let's have a look what we got. Make a cool Three.js game. That was all it gave it. And it just went off and did its magic. That is wild. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. So, you can code with it. You can create content with it. It's completely free to use. Here's another game that was built with it. So this is some sort of like missile game. Look at that. 3D as well. Let's go on to OpenRouter and we'll just test this out. So I'm going to try the same prompt here. And we'll say, create a cool 3JS game. We'll see if DeepSeek is working directly as well. But before, when I tested it, it was not working after a few tests. So you see how it takes so long to respond here? It actually looks like it's coming up with it now, but we'll see what it comes up with. And it's creating the JavaScript. Inside OpenRouter, it's just broken completely. Look at that. 3JS game. I'm going to say, okay. Code it in HTML. I see. So it's thinking about it. I'm just going to go back and then we'll test that again. So you can see here, it's still not perfect, right? Like nobody's going to show you this on YouTube. I just want to be 100% transparent. Like it's cool. It can create some amazing stuff, but it does break. And you do have to go back and forth with it a little bit inside the chat here. See how slow it is as well. So it keeps lagging a little bit, but that's to be expected with a brand new sort of feature and update that's coming out. So let's get it to see, create a 3JS game in HTML now. We'll see what we get back in a sec. OpenRouter is still coding it. And also, if you want to use this inside, for example, like Visual Studio Code or something like that, right? So you can use a free API. If you download Visual Studio Code, just Google it and you can download it. And then from here, you can type in Qwen, and Qwen have just updated this with the new API. So if you go into your settings here, and then I believe, let's just have a look here. Yeah, so if we go to OpenRouter, and then inside OpenRouter, we should be able to use DeepSeek 0324. So you see here, it's got DeepSeek Chat V3 0324, and then it's completely free. So we can use it like so. We can hit done, and then we'll just test this out. I might have to set up a new API key, but we're just going to test it out. So I'm going to say, okay, create an SEO 3JS game. We'll see if that works. In the meantime, we'll switch back, see what we got back from the chat. Yeah, so you can see it's coding out here using DeepSeek and the new version. So it's pretty awesome. I mean, when you think about it, it's crazy that number one, you can get access to DeepSeek, but number two, it's completely free. Whether you're using the API, whether you're automating, whether you're building AI agents, etc., you can do this all for free with OpenRouter and the free API key. And then if you don't want to use the API key, you can just go straight back to DeepSeek or into OpenRouter chat room and just make sure you select the right API key here. What you can also do is like you can compare them side by side, right? So for example, if we wanted to use Claude 3.7 Sonnet and just compare them side by side, you can do it like that, right? Pretty simple and easy. So let's run this HTML now and see if it actually works. Here we go. That's the game that we just created in one prompt. I'm not even sure what you're meant to do here, but it looks pretty cool, to be fair. To create that in like, oh yeah, you're meant to collect the rings. There you go. All right, so collect the pink rings here. 3D game works perfectly in one shot. You can't argue with that. And that's just not even testing the boundaries of it, right? DeepSeek just mocked that up in one go. It's like, here you go, mate. You want your game? Here you go. It's probably better than most Mega Drive games back in the day. So really simple and easy to do. pretty powerful for coding. It can write games, it can create beautifully designed websites. If the server is not working inside DeepSeek.com directly, then just go to OpenRoute to chat room, or you can go inside client and use the API key directly here. But either way, you're good to go. Pretty simple and easy. And that's exactly how you can use it. I honestly, from what I can see, especially with that last 3JS game, like that's looking better than Claude 3.7 Sonnet, or probably about the same, right? Usually as well, 3.7 Sonnet, like it runs out of tokens and then you have to regenerate the code, or it doesn't work properly, etc. But this has just gone off and done it perfectly, right? You see, it even works when it says game over. Pretty cool. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get access to all of my best prompts, tips, workflows, AI agents, automations for email content, social media, AI agents, and you want to make more money with AI, as well as save hundreds of hours of AI, then feel free to get that AI Profit Boardroom community, link in the comments and description. If you go to the SOP section, you'll see all of my best latest SOPs. This is all the stuff we've added this month. Prices are actually going up this month, so make sure you sign up now and lock in your legacy price. Also, it comes with weekly Q&A calls, so you can jump on the weekly Q&As and ask us any questions. And then also inside the community, if you have any questions where you get stuck between the Q&A calls, you can post inside the community and get help from 530 people who are all focused on making more money and saving time with AI. So it's an awesome community, constantly getting updated, loads of cool stuff in there. And you can sign up, link in the comments and the description. Also, if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to get that link in the comments and description. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 business a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a free custom tailored link building game plan so you can generate more leads, sales, and profits to your website. You'll discover the secret SEO link building. You can ask us any questions you have, and you'll learn how to 10x SEO traffic based on what's working for us and our happy clients, like you can see right here. Feel free to get that link in the comments and description. Appreciate you watching. Nicholas says, good morning, mate. I was playing around with Recode and Claude 3.7 Sonnet couldn't do anything with computer use as I instantly hit 40K token API. I've not actually experienced the same problem. Not sure what's going on there, but if you're inside the AI Profit Boardroom, just post in there and we'll jump on the Q&As and share your screen. We can help you out. Peace, love, and unity says, I tested V3. It isn't that great. It didn't seem helpful. I gave it a hard prompt and other AI LLMs never struggled, but V3 was lacking. It's been so, I mean, from what I can see today, you know, you've seen my tests. It works pretty well. It's definitely better than a lot of paid APIs, to be honest with you. And you can get access to it. Plus, you can plug it into APIs. So, I don't know. For me, it's working perfectly. But, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's really like how you use it, how you mold it, how you interact with it as well. And CCP says, I tested it too, but Manus is still better. Yeah, Manus is okay, but it runs out of limits. Like literally, I seem to have to use it like once a day with Manus, so it's not ideal from what I can see. All right. DeepSeek version 3 versus Claude 3.7 Sonnet. Who wins today? We're going to test this out and see who's the winner, which one is the best. Now, if you're not familiar with this already, just a few hours ago, DeepSeek released V3.0324. Now, this is available inside the chat. So you can go inside deepseek.com, chat.deepseek.com, and get free access right there. Or you can go to LM Arena, go to the direct chat, and you can select DeepSeek version 3 V3.024 there as well. And additionally, if you prefer, you can also grab the API key for free on openrouter.ai, or just go to the chat room. So it's openrouter.ai/chat. And then you can compare two different models. So you can see here I've got 3.7 Sonnet versus DeepSeek version 3. So what we're going to do here is we're going to test them side by side to see, okay, who's the best, who's performing the best, which one creates the best prompts. Now, the first thing that I'm going to test is its writing ability. One thing to note here is the 3.7 Sonnet is a reasoning model. It has thinking abilities, whereas, for example, DeepSeek version 3.0324 is a base model, right? So it's not a reasoning model. It doesn't have thinking capabilities. It should be quite smart, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to be as good at reasoning. All right, but we're going to test this prompt out now. So I'm going to say create an SEO optimized article for this. We'll put in the keyword. And then we'll plug this into both, right? So you can see DeepSeek working its magic here and Claude 3.7 working its magic as well. Now, if we actually compare these side by side, what's interesting about this is actually it looks like DeepSeek version 3 is totally given up on the response set. I'm just going to refresh that. So it seems to be stuck on processing. That is super buggy, super buggy. What I might have to do is just open up a separate tab. So DeepSeek version 3 is now writing as well. We'll open up both of these. So this is the output from Claude 3.7 Sonnet. One of the first things you're going to notice here is you see how it says 2023 inside the response here. That is not ideal, my friends. We don't want that. So Claude 3.7 Sonnet seems to be a little bit confused there already. DeepSeek version 3 has come back to us. It's front-loaded the keyword. It's included in the first line, etc., which is great. Let's have a look at the content from Claude. Also, look at this, right? So Claude 3.7 Sonnet said, looking for top-notch SEO training in Manchester. Now, the keyword here is top-notch. So if you actually look at the outputs here, number one, Claude 3.7 Sonnet is put 2023 for some reason. And number two, it's using AI fluff words like top-notch. Whereas if you compare that side by side versus DeepSeek, this feels a lot more humanized, right? So if you look at the first line, looking for SEO training in Manchester, that actually works. Like no AI fluff, feels quite humanized, gets straight to the point. It's linked to our funnel after the first paragraph. Camera just went off there. What we got here? You think we're still early in this tech? Absolutely. Hello, bro. The problem Manus has stopped. How to solve the error? Just use, you can use Rucode. Check out my videos on Rucode versus Manus and just switch. And K-Sang says, it will be buggy. Everyone in the world is accessing at real time now. Yeah, probably a fair point right there. All right, so if we pull these up side by side, it looks like DeepSeek is actually doing a better job than Claude 3.7 Sonnet when it comes to writing the content. I'm just going to check how long this is. So the content from DeepSeek V3 is 485 words, and the content from Claude is 1087 words. All right. So let's just pull these up. What I'm going to do is run them through Zero GPT and AI detection tool, and we could see which one creates the most humanized content as well. Honestly, if I had to pick both blogs, I'm going to go with DeepSeek's because it just feels a lot more humanized. It feels a lot more natural, etc. So let's take this content and we'll run it through Zero GPT and just see how it performs. In terms of humanization. So DeepSeek, this is pretty amazing actually. DeepSeek's content comes out at 0% AI detectable, right? So the AI cannot detect whether this is human written or not. It thinks it is actually human written, right? So DeepSeek has done pretty well there. Now let's compare 3.7 Sonnet. So we're going to take this content and just compare it side by side. Bear in mind, DeepSeek scored 0%, which is perfect. Claude 3.7 Sonnet has come out at 0% human detectable as well. So they've both done really well in terms of writing the content. I would just say that DeepSeek doesn't read quite as nicely as using. I wouldn't say Claude's content reads as nicely as DeepSeek's. All right, next up, what I'm going to do is I actually prefer using these directly in the chat. I think it'll be easier to compare as well. So I'm going to get rid of Claude right there. We'll X off that. And we're just going to use DeepSeek inside OpenRouter, and then we'll use Claude over here. All right. So we'll run the next prompt. We're going to use a reasoning challenge to compare them. So I'm going to use this prompt here, which says, there's a tree on the other side of a river in winter. How can I pick an apple? Right? Basically, what we're looking for is like solutions. We're looking for the AI to recognize that obviously apples don't grow in winter as well, and that you could be wasting your time, etc. So let's see how it performs and whether it can actually figure that out. All right. Now you can see Claude 3.7 Sonnet is actually a lot faster. So this is still loading with DeepSeek over here, but with Claude 3.7 Sonnet, it's already given us the answer and gotten straight to it. So in terms of speed, Claude 3.7 is winning. However, this model has just been released, so it is going to be a little bit slower than normal. I'm waiting for this to load, and you can see it's taken quite a long time. I might switch to the paid model if this doesn't work. But so far, I've slowed this down. Let's just go back onto DeepSeek V3, and we'll use it directly inside the chat, see if that works instead. So we're going to use the same prompt inside the reasoning model instead. Here we go. So it's analyzing the situation. And you can see it's actually got the reasoning ability here. So it's like, right, apple availability. Apples are generally harvested in late summer to autumn. So by winter, most apples have fallen or been picked unless it's an evergreen or a special variety that retains fruit, which is uncommon, right? So it's figured out, okay, there's a lot of problems with this. It's also really in-depth in its analysis. Look at this, like understands the scenario, analyzes the possibility, assesses the river, potential solutions as well. So reevaluates the initial assumptions as well. It does feel like a reasoning model, even if it's not. I mean, if you compare the output of Claude 3.7 Sonnet versus DeepSeek, genuinely, DeepSeek is thinking this out a lot more. You're getting a better output from DeepSeek for sure when it comes to reasoning. So I'm going to say that DeepSeek won this reasoning challenge simply because it gave us more solutions, analyzed the situation a bit more, and also it was a lot more focused on like analyzing the situation and then coming up with solutions, right? Whereas, for example, with Claude, it's really short with its response. So if we take a look here, it's like this is a peculiar situation since apples don't bear fruit in winter, which is great. But it's not really analyzed the situation in as much detail as DeepSeek. Like if you need to really reason something out, this is going to give you the most logical and best answer. So DeepSeek wins on that one as well. Now let's compare on another challenge. What we're going to do here is we're going to test the search model. So this is web search using DeepSeek. Now, if you're outside the US, I'm just going to double check the settings here. But if you're outside the US here, you won't get the option for web search. So DeepSeek actually has web search, but I want to make sure it actually works. So I'm going to say, okay, what happened in AI news today? So just to be clear here, Claude only has web search for people in the US. If you're outside the US, you won't get that. However, the search service inside DeepSeek is not working either. You can see it says, due to technical issues, the search service is temporarily unavailable. So both of these failed when it comes to that. Now you could go inside OpenRouter and select web search here and use the same prompt. Right? And so if we go inside OpenRouter and grab that, open a new room, web search selected. But you can see it still fails from what I can see. So we've selected web search, right? We've got that selected on. And I've said what happens in AI news today, and it still thinks it's June 2024. So not ideal there. I would say in some ways it's better that Claude just tells you we don't have it, mate, rather than wasting your time trying to use a search that actually doesn't work inside DeepSeek. So I'm going to say Claude won there, but both of them don't really do that. The other thing to note here is like, and I don't know if this is going to be available to host offline yet. I'm sure it's coming to Olama, but yeah. So you can't, let's have a look here. Yeah, this was only updated 2 months ago. So the new version is not here. You can get it through Hugging Faceho. But the main thing to note here is that when you're using DeepSeek, it's an open source model. So if it's an open source model, you can host it locally. I'm sure it will come to Olama pretty soon because DeepSeek version 3 is already on there. The other option that you have is you have a free API key, right? So for example, if you're using Claude, you get charged for tokens. It's pretty expensive, right? If you're using the model for API calls. Whereas, for example, with DeepSeek, you can go to OpenRouter, you can type in DeepSeek over here, select 0324 for free, and then you can actually grab a free API key from this and use that inside OpenRouter for coding, right? So you can build like AI agents, or you can build automations, or you can do whatever you want for free using DeepSeek version 3, which kind of beats Claude 3.7 Sonnet, as you have to pay for that. And a lot of people can't afford it, right? That's one of the most common sort of problems that I see on my YouTube comments is like people complaining that they have to pay for this stuff. So you get the point. Like, this is open source. And number two, this is available to use inside Client, RuCode, OpenRouter chat room, etc. And it's available to use for free as well. So side by side, you know, I would say DeepSeek's version 3 is winning now for content creation. It's winning for reasoning. It's winning for the free API key. It lost on the web search test. What else can we test here? So the next thing that I want to test is actually coding, right? So if we go back to the chat room here, I actually coded this earlier. Where is it now? So I asked it to create a beautiful landing page for my SEO agency, right? And it coded this HTML code right here. So if we preview this inside liveweave.com, we can plug that in, and it actually created a really nice page, right? Really nice design, simple, but it does the job. It looks nice, it's clean, it even came up with the brand name, etc. Now let's compare this versus Claude 3.7 Sonnet. So I'm going to give exactly the same prompt, just keep it basic, which is create a beautiful landing page from SEO agency. We're inside the chat here, we'll plug that in. And we'll see how it goes. Now, some people are saying that there's only improvements in maths and coding when it comes to DeepSeek. That's an interesting one. I've not seen, they've not actually released like the official benchmarks for this new version of DeepSeek. So it's going to be hard to compare, but I've definitely noticed a difference in reasoning, right? If you compare the old version of DeepSeek version 3, it wasn't very good at reasoning. It did fail on a lot of reasoning tasks. Whereas, for example, when we looked at that, you know, crossing the river riddle before, DeepSeek version 3 actually outperformed Claude 3.7 Sonnet. So it's really interesting to see that. So let's see what we get back here. Just waiting for that to load. The other thing that we can test in a separate tab is creating a cool 3JS game, right? So if we have a look at that game that we created earlier, this one. We can take a look. So we've got the output from Claude over here. Let's take a look. Actually, very similar, isn't it? Look at that. I'm just going to publish this so that we can preview it full screen. So let's open this up. So if we have a look through this, I really don't like the way Claude doesn't ask you for an image, but it leaves a little blank space for that. I never like that because it makes the page look a little bit messy. So this is using Claude 3.7 Sonnet, as you can see, and the page itself is really, really thin. So all it's got here is a little title bar, a little image, and then that's it, right? It doesn't even fill out that bit properly. Whereas, for example, if we go to the DeepSeek version, I actually created the full page, designed it nicely, added a footer, which the output from Claude doesn't have. Additionally, you can see that we have much nicer title, headings, etc. Nice icons. Like the output from DeepSeek is ready to go, whereas the output from Claude is really poor, right? Like you wouldn't use that. You can't publish that. It's not ready to go, you know? Now, it does say it hit the max length for a message, so I guess we could say keep going. But then, you know, you're wasting more time. You're going back and forth with it a bit more. It's going to be a little bit more frustrating to use, you know? Next up, we're going to test another coding challenge. So I'm going to say inside here, create a sleek, conversion-focused landing page for Goldie Agency's automation dashboard. The design should be modern, etc. Here's what to do. So we'll plug that in, and then we'll do the same inside Claude. Open up a new chat. Let's see what we get back. That is not ideal. So you see here, I was asked it to create a sleek modern landing page, and it's not actually recognized that it needs to code something out, right? So DeepSeek has kind of failed on this one right here. Whereas if we go over to Claude, I'm 99% sure it's like smart enough to figure out, okay, this is a coding task, right? It needs to go off and code. And that's exactly what it's done right here. So Claude is already winning by figuring out, okay, this is the user intent of what we want. Whereas DeepSeek, it feels a bit messy. It doesn't understand what we want. It doesn't have that intelligence to figure out, okay, this is what we're talking about, etc. But yeah, I think overall, if you're looking for something that's free to use, gives you good outputs, pretty good at coding, good at reasoning, good at writing content, then I would recommend that you go with DeepSeek. But if you are looking for like the best of the best, you know, the best UI, the best outputs, the highest quality content, a smarter, more intelligent model that also comes with reasoning, then I would recommend that you stick with Claude. I don't think it's going to be Claude anytime soon. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get a free SEO strategy session, feel free to get that link in the comments description. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 business a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in Sales and Autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a free SEO domination plan. So you'll get a custom tailored link building plan so you can generate more lead sales and profits from your website. And we'll be able to answer any questions you have. Plus, you'll learn how to 10x SEO traffic based on what's working for us and our happy clients, like you can see right here. And if you haven't already, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is a community focused on making more money and saving hundreds of hours with AI, right? So if you want to get my best automations on email content, social media, AI agents, web automation, SEO automations, crash courses and SPs, feel free to get that link in the comments description. Also comes with weekly Q&As, so you can jump on the weekly Q&A calls with us, ask us any questions you have. And inside the community, you can post and ask any questions, and then you'll get help from 530 members, all focused on the same goals as you. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. What questions we got here? Are you live? I am live indeed, my friend. Try it on Code. Yeah, I'll do that probably in a second. Uzer says only improvement in maths and coding. Yeah, so far it's pretty good though. I mean, I do like it. Brian says you have a lot of haters commenting. Always, mate. Always. I mean, hate only comes from below, right? That's one of the things I learned. And usually if you get hate, it's confirmation that you've leveled up, right? So for me, for example, like if I get hate online, it's kind of like, oh, okay, great. Like I've leveled up. I'm getting attention. I'm clearly doing something that's worthwhile. And also, if it was Warren Buffett or someone like that in the comments hating on me, then I know something has to change. But if it's just like, people who are wasting time instead of focusing on their own goals and trying to grow the business and really growing towards building the empire, and they're instead just wasting their time and distracting themselves, making silly YouTube comments, then, that's on to them, right? That's all down to them. So it depends. I always find like hate only comes from below. And so if people are hating on me, it's just confirmation that I'm leveling up. Kitty says DeepSeek is trained on a shoestring budget. So if it's equal to American LLMs, why the likes of Google and Microsoft spending hundreds of billions? You see the Jack Ma update yesterday in terms of the news. So Jack Ma, I think they found a way to cut costs on chips for AI by like at least 20%. Like it was huge. What is the main improvement in DeepSeek V3? So it's better at coding, better at reasoning, better at maths. Overall, better at logic. Yep, already answered that. Sporter says, boom shakalaka. That's what we're talking about. And Rising Creek says, can you walk through the Chrome debugging browser setup? Yeah, so if you go inside the AI Profit Boardroom, and then you go to the classroom and school, you'll see my walkthrough on the whole setup right here, right? So we've got a video and we've got like step-by-step instructions on exactly how to implement it. So if you want to learn how to do that stuff, just join the AI Profit Boardroom. Prices are going up at the end of the month, so you've got less than a week to sign up. So I'd definitely try and sign up now and, try and make the most of it. Try and learn this stuff. So DeepSeek have just released a brand new model called DeepSeek V3 And the beautiful thing about this is, number one, it's better at coding. Number two, it's better at reasoning. Number three, it's better at logic. These are the main differences. And also, you can basically automate anything for free if you use the strategies I'm about to show you, right? So what you can actually do is if you go to openrouter.ai, then you can open up a free API key for OpenRouter, and you can plug that into many different tools, right? So for example, you can see here, you can actually use it inside RuCode, you can use it inside Qwen, you can also use DeepSeek version 3, the new update inside OpenRouter chat room. And today I'm going to show you exactly how you can basically automate anything using this process, right? So what you're going to do inside OpenRouter is you're going to sign up for a free account, then you're going to go over to keys, and inside keys, select create key. Now, once you've created a key, you can then plug that into your settings inside Visual Studio Code. Now, if you've never set this up before, let me show you exactly how to do it. So you're going to go to code.visualstudiocode.com, code.visualstudio.com. Then you're going to download this for whatever, whether you're on Mac or Windows. Once you've done that, then I would recommend you go to extensions. So click on extensions on the left, type in Qwen, and you can install this. You can also install RuCode. RuCode is super powerful as well. And these are both awesome ways to basically automate anything that you want using this process. Now, once you've done that, you can then go to your settings. For example, inside Qwen, we can go to settings over here, select OpenRouter, plug in the API key that you got previously. And then in the settings here, you're going to make sure that you use DeepSeek Chat V3 0324 for free. Right, that's how you can automate stuff for free. Right, and then you can also add like custom instructions, what you want, etc. And then if we go inside the chat here, and we'll say now, okay, create. Just as a very simple example, we can say create a basic, sleek, modern SEO tool. All right. And basically, we can automate the creation of websites, tools, apps, etc. inside here. Now, if you're struggling, you can switch between the providers. So right now, this is probably overloaded, but you can see the API request is now working. So just be prepared that, if it's in beta or it's just been released within, the last few hours, which it has, then you might have to go back and forth it a little bit, but it seems to be working beautifully right here. Whilst that's loading, I'm actually going to show you something else as well. So another way that you can automate stuff is if you go to chat, so find DeepSeek on OpenRouter, then click on chat. Inside the chat room here, you can use it for free as well. So we can give it the exact same prompt and we can automate tools directly here. All right, so if we say create a basic, sleek, modern SEO tool, that'll come back to us with the code and we can automate the creation of tools, apps, websites. You can even create like SaaS software using this process, right? And now you can see it's coding out the project that we want. So really simple and easy to set this up inside RuCode, inside Qwen, etc. So whilst that's loading, let me show you exactly how it works inside RuCode as well. So once you've installed these extensions, for example, this is Qwen, and then if we go over to RuCode, we can do the same thing. We click on settings, we select OpenRouter, we select DeepSeek Chat V3 0324 for free. Either way, we can create stuff using this process. Really simple and easy to do, right? Some people are probably asking like, okay, does it include browser control? So if you're using the free API key, it doesn't support computer use, right? Which means that you can't use this with browser control directly inside RuCode. But the easiest way to set this up, if you want like a DeepSeek API to control your laptop, then you can go to web browser UI, set up the GitHub, and you can run AI agents in your browser that way, right? I actually have a few videos on YouTube if you type in Julian Goldie browser use web UI, and you can install DeepSeek APIs directly into that, right? So if you want it to control your laptop, if you want the AI to basically, start using your browser, etc., then you can automate that using this process right here. So you can basically control your browser like you can see, and then you can get DeepSeek version 3 to just start Googling stuff and doing research for you. It even has a deep research option here. You can see how it works step by step. So just get the browser use web UI option inside there. All right. Now, if we come back to the project, you can see it's coding away and doing its magic. If we go back to the chat room, it's still coding away. All right. So we can just automate stuff and then do other things in the background. The other option that we have, I just want to test this out first of all before we do it, is we're going to sign in to my N8N workspace, and I want to see if N8N have actually updated with the new APIs from DeepSeek. All right. So let's wait for the sign in here. I'm going to go to the admin panel. I might need to update this, so I'm just going to go to settings and make sure I have the latest version installed. Looks like we should be good to go on that. All right. If we're going to open this up, we'll see if we can set up AI agents with NA10 as well using the new version of DeepSeek. So let's create a new workflow. Add an AI agent. X off that. And then inside the chat model section, we'll type in open router. So we've got that set up. And it doesn't look like DeepSeek is available for free directly inside there, right? So if you want the free version of it, it doesn't seem to be available. Let me just check. Oh, there we go. Look at that. So just don't type in DeepSeek, right? If you type in DeepSeek, it didn't seem to come up. But if I type in V3, it comes up. You've got the newest version right there, right? And then if we go back here, and we're going to go inside the AI agent, we can just automate whatever we want using this process, right? So I'm going to call this DeepSeek V3.1 AI agent. That's saved. And then if we open up the chat in the bottom here, we can basically automate our AI agents using the newest version of DeepSeek, all right? So if we go inside the chat here, we'll say, write an SEO article about DeepSeek. You can see it's using the AI agent and it's using the open router model right here. We'll just wait for that to load. And that should work. Now, in the meantime, if we go back to the chat room, and we go back to Visual Studio Code, that is coding out right there as well. The other thing to be careful of here, of course, is like when you're using this, it may be a little bit slow, right? Because everyone's going to be rinsing this at the same time. So just for the sake of making things easy, oh, there we go. We can go back to the chat here, and yeah, you've got the output. All right. So it says, what is a DeepSeek? Then it comes up with the details. It's written the content, etc. The article is ready to go. And we just automated that in a few seconds using this AI agent setup right here. Obviously, what you want to do inside the AI agent is really give it like a good system message in terms of what you want it to do. And then when you add the AI model, chat model over here, just make sure you select open router and then DeepSeek chat V30324, right? And if you want the free version, then make sure you select :free at the end right there, right? And that's how you can get access to this. So pretty powerful stuff. Like I've shown you, in the space of a few minutes, how to automate stuff directly inside the chat, which you've got inside openrouter.ai. I've shown you how to set up free AI agents using this process. The other thing to note here as well is like if you host NA10 yourself or if you host it locally, then this is completely free, right? 'Cause then you don't even pay for NA10 if you're hosting it locally or if you're hosting it yourself. And also you can use this for free inside Qwen or RuCode using Visual Studio Code. Now, if we run this, so we're just going to run the command. We've got the page ready to go. We just automated the website. And that was incredibly easy. All right. Now, if you want better results, like for me, I didn't really like the design there, then you can just go back and forth in the chat and ask it to improve the UI, make it look more modern, etc. But between these AI agents, really simple and easy to do. Now, the other thing that I think you should be able to do, if we go to mate.com, is we can automate anything using DeepSeek and the method right here. So I'm just going to grab this. We'll plug this in right here. We'll sign in. And now inside mate.com as well, we should be able to automate things for free as well. So what I'm going to do is I'll run over to this DeepSeek R1 content creator. And what you can see with this workflow is that we're taking keywords from a Google Sheet, we're plugging that through OpenRouter, and then we're sending that to WordPress, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to clone this, and we'll set it up with the new version of DeepSeek, all right? By the way, if you want all my best templates, workflows, etc., you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description, and it comes with all my best make.com automations that you can just import, along with all my best NA10 AI agents as well, if you want to just one-click set up this stuff. And so what we're going to do from here is take the keyword, then inside OpenRouter's module, we're going to select my OpenRouter connection, right? And then inside the model section, let's see if we can get the new version of DeepSeek. Yeah, look at that. DeepSeek V3 0324 free, ready to go. Boom shakalaka. We're ready to go. We're living the dream here, sunshine. And then we're going to right click this and we'll click choose where to start. We'll click choose manually and we should be able to select our keyword and then run that through the new version of DeepSeek to create the content. So let's scroll down here. We'll select Eldorado Hills SEO and hopefully this should work. So I'm just going to click run once like so. Plug it through OpenRouter and you can see OpenRouter is using the new version of DeepSeek V3.1 to create the content, and then it should automatically post that to WordPress. So in the background here, I'm just going to log into WordPress. We'll wait for this to load. Again, I think because it is the first day of this release, like the APIs are going to be a little bit slow, but if you're patient with it, if you're doing different things in the background, that doesn't matter at all. Now, also what you can do whilst we're waiting for that to load is we can go back to our NA10 workflow, and we can also, for example, select a tool. So we could link our Gmail to this, or we could, for example, create an AI agent that actually plugs content directly to WordPress, right? So let me show you an example of how this works. So we're going to click on Gmail tool over here. We're going to let the AI figure out who to send to, the subject line, and also the message to send. And then additionally, yeah, I think that should be all good to go now. I'm just going to double check, see what that sends to. Yeah, I think we should be good there. All right now. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to say, write an email to john@juliangoldie.com. Let me just make sure this is draft, not send. All right. Yeah, so we'll put write an email to me@juliangoldie.com, inviting him to the new DeepSeek V3 party. This weekend, all right? And we'll see if that works. Now, again, the API is going to take a little bit of time to complete, but we should have the outputs back from the first WordPress draft. So you can see here, it's already created the first draft from WordPress. And then if we open this up inside WordPress here, we've got the article from DeepSeek. And there we go. Look at that. DeepSeek V3 automated an article. Really simple. It's got our internal links automatically inserted right here. Boom. And that was just with this one simple workflow, right? So you can automate anything using make.com. You could also, for example, use N8N. And that was incredibly simple. All right, now you can see it's using the Gmail feature to write the email. So we'll see what that comes back with in a minute. But for the make.com automation, that was super simple. We just automated 2 blogs from our spreadsheet, went through OpenRouter using the new API from DeepSeek, and then plugged that through to WordPress, right? And how long does that take? No problem at all. Now, it might be a bit confusing seeing me switch between N8N and make.com. If that's the case, don't worry, because inside the AI Profit Boardroom, I have separate trainings for each, right? So if you go to the classroom over here, we have a whole course on NA10 templates and workflows. So you can see all our different courses and templates you can just insert if you want to use NA10. And then if you type in make.com at the top here, you'll see all my best automations for make.com, including 12 automations between DeepSeek and Make AI, right? Also got like GPT 4.5 AI agents and all sorts of crazy stuff inside there, right? So if you're a little bit confused right now, don't worry, because you know the APIs are so slow that I have to switch between them if it's a YouTube video. Otherwise, it's going to take absolutely ages, right? Now let's just check Has this actually sent the message or not? Oh, there we go. Look at that. Boom shakalaka. All right. I love it when it works first time round. I'm not going to lie to you. So I'm going to stop that right now because it doesn't need to go on forever. But basically what we've done here is we asked DeepSeek inside NA10 and the AI agent to just write an email to me at juliangoldie.com, inviting him to the new DeepSeek V3 party this weekend. And inside the subject line, the to email address, and also the message, we said, figure it out, mate, right? Use the AI to figure that out. It did it. It did its magic. And you can see here, it says, hey, Julian. So it even figured out my name from the email address. It said, hey, hope this email finds you well. We're thrilled to invite you to the exclusive launch party for DeepSeek V3 this weekend. It's going to be an exciting event filled with innovation, networking, and fun. Here's the details. There you go. And you can just create email assistants that fire off emails for you or answer emails, whatever you want, inside NA10. Super simple and easy, right? So you get the point. Like between make.com, between NA10, between RuCode, and also the Open Router chat room, like you can automate pretty much anything you want, and you can automate it for free with AI agents. And they literally take seconds to build, like you can see today that we've done. Yeah, super simple and easy. You can build websites, tools, apps, games. You can create email assistants. You can automate content from spreadsheets through OpenRouter for free, and then send those over to WordPress. Like your only limit here is your imagination. And with the power of DeepSeek and these new updates, this technology is just getting better and better, right? Like you should be looking at, okay, what's one thing that I can automate each week that would save me hundreds of hours, right? And then you just do that again and again and again, and you can do it all for free, like I've shown you today. And it's really simple once you get your head around it, right? Now, if you want to figure out, okay, how do you set up a workflow like this? Let me show you how to build something like this inside make.com. I've already covered how to do this inside NA10 today. So I'm going to go back inside scenarios over here, all right? And make.com is really good for linear scenarios, right? So when you're going from point A to point B, right, in a straight line. Whereas, for example, NA10 is better for more complex stuff. I mean, if you want to see some of the, this was a super simple agent that we built today. If you want to see something that's a bit more technical, let me open up this one for Telegram. So you can see how we've set up Telegram here to basically fire off emails via Gmail. You can also see for another example, let me pull up another example right here. I want to find another example for you. All right, this one is super complicated. Look at this bad boy. All right, so if you want something really technical and complicated that has many, many different steps, NA10 is the best. But if you want something that's super linear and simple to set up, the make.com is pretty decent. And also it's free for like the first 1,000 operations per month, right? Now, if you want to set up a workflow like I did a second ago, then you would just go inside make.com. You're going to set up, like, for example, watch new rows. Then from here, you're going to link this to OpenRouter, create a chat completion. Make sure you have your credentials set up, right? So you want to set up your credentials like you can see right here. And then you're going to choose the model that you want to use, right? So if we type in DeepSeek, we can use the latest version of DeepSeek over here. You would add a message. So this is essentially your prompt. And then from here, you can just link this to WordPress or whatever you want, right? So if we wanted to create like an SEO content automation tool, we can do that. Click create a post, fill out all the details once this loads. So you fill out all this stuff. And then, you know, in the space of seconds, you've built out an AI SEO tool, right? Something that you probably would have paid $200 a month for a couple of years ago, right? So that's how easy it is to set up automations and do this stuff. You can do it with NA10, with make.com. You can do it with RuCode. You can do it with Qwen, OpenRouter. I also think that very, very soon, you know, probably give it a week or two, DeepSeek V3 and the new update will be available inside Olama as well. So there's many different options from here. All right. Now, like I said, if you want to get all of my best automations for make.com or NA10 or AI agents, etc., you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Prices are going up this month, so make sure you sign up before the end of the month. Otherwise, you're going to lose out on the legacy price, right? And this community is just focused on one thing, which is making more money and saving time with AI. So if you want that, feel free to get it inside the AI Profit Boardroom. All my best automations are in here, including AI agents. There's a crash course to save you hundreds of hours. And this is all the stuff we've automated inside our business. And then also inside the SAP select collection here, you can see all this different stuff we're adding. Like pretty much every single day, we update all of this stuff. I'm going to add a new SAP for DeepSeek and all the automations you could do with the new version of DeepSeek version 3, but you get the point. And then also inside the community here, if you have a question, just post it inside the community and we can help you, right? So for example, you can see all of these people posting yesterday and they all got their questions answered. We stepped in, we helped them out, etc. I mean, look at all the updates we've done as well, right? So this was an update from 5 days ago. We added tons of new stuff right here, including like MCP agents, NA10 MCP agents, Google Trend extractors, etc. So we're constantly updating this because it's a new technology that's adapting every single day. And yeah, feel free to get that link in the comments description. And if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, you can get that right now. Feel free to learn and book it in. It's a free SEO strategy session. So it's going to show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visits a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales and autopilot. And on this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a free SEO domination plan, right? So you're going to get a custom tailored link building plan to generate more leads, sales, and profits from your website. You will be able to ask us any questions you have. So if you're confused about anything related to SEO, you can ask directly on the call, and you'll learn how to 10x the SEO traffic based on what's working for us. So feel free to put that in, link in the comments description. Appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye. All right, peeps. Any questions before we go? Are we good? I think we've got about 400 people watching live right now. No questiones. Is it possible to teach an AI agent how to draw floor plans? I think you would use Google Drawing for that. There's a tool on Hugging Space called Google Drawing. I think you could do something like that. Probably the best way to train something like that is you grab the images and you ask it to analyze it. I don't think it's great at drawing, but it is great at like visualization, right? So if you have like dimensions or you have specific like square meter, floor plans and that sort of thing that you want to deal with, it's probably the best way to do that. I think if I was to choose any model to help me out with that, I'm going to use Claude 3.7 Sonnet because number one, it's really good at logic and reasoning. And number two, is very good because it's got the vision model, right? So you can upload images or screenshots or floor plans and then train it up from there and just create like a custom project inside Claude to help you do that. All right. So there's a brand new update from Qwen. Qwen has released Qwen 2.5 VL32B model. So this is a brand new model that's just come out. It is available for free. I'll show you exactly how it works, how to get access, and what it means for you. So this is another AI. It comes from the Alibaba team. And so far from the previous models of Qwen, it's been super powerful. But this seems to be on a whole different level. Now, if you want to get access to this, you can go to chat.qwen, that's QWEN. And then from here, you can select between the different models. This is the latest one that they're talking about. So it's Qwen 2.5 VL32B Instruct. And you can select between reasoning and non-reasoning. All right. So if you click the reasoning model, you can also search live here. I've noticed they're also potentially launching MCP soon. So you can see the MCP option here. And also we've got artifacts as well. All right. Now, if you're wondering, okay, what does this mean for you? What is it? What's the difference, etc.? So this is smarter and lighter than previous models. So they started launching these like VL series of models this year. And essentially, it's more aligned with like human preferences. It's pretty good for mathematics and reasoning, and it has a good understanding of reasoning, that sort of thing. Now, if you want to see, okay, how does it compare versus other models? So obviously, this is supposed to be like a smarter and lighter model, right? So, for example, you've got similar competitors like Mistral 3.1 just came out recently, and also Google's Gemma 3 is their latest release, which is a smaller model as well. But in terms of the benchmarks, you can see that Qwen 2.5 VL is this one right here in red is outperforming them by quite a long way. So, for example, MMMU tests is performing really well. Math Vista is also doing really well, and also MMMT bench, right? And you can see the benchmarks here versus each of the different models. It also seems to have vision as well, which you can see right here. So someone said, I am driving a large truck on the road. It's now 12 o'clock. Can I reach a place 110 kilometers away before 13 o'clock? Plugged in the image, and then it's figured out step by step, right? Now, if you want to use it, again, you can go to chat.qwen.ai, and then from here, you're good to go. And so, for example, if we click on the search and we'll say now, okay, what happened today in AI news? This should start giving us a response. And you can see here, it's easily figured out, okay, this is what's happening today. Now, this is quite different to, for example, like DeepSeek. So if we switch over to DeepSeek now, deepseek.com, which is another free Chinese model, and we click on Start Now, and we'll ask it exactly the same question using the search feature here. We'll plug this in, and we'll see what it comes back with. And you can see here, now it says, due to technical issues, the search service is temporarily unavailable, right? So one of the biggest benefits of this is that the search feature actually works. It is connected to the internet, and that's super useful for creating content, right? So if we say now, okay, using the think mode tool, so we'll select QWQ over here, create a beautiful, sleek, modern landing page in HTML based on these AI news headlines, plus promote the AI profit boardroom in the content, right? And then we're going to go over to the AI profit boardroom. We'll take a cheeky little screenshot. We'll grab that. And we should be able to use vision inside Qwen as well. So I'm going to upload the image right here. And then additionally, I just need to give it the link to the funnel, all right? So I'm going to grab that URL and I'll say link to this sales page like so. We'll hit enter and upload that. And now it's starting to create that, as you can see. All right. And if we switch on artifacts as well, we can take the code and we can preview it once it's completed, right? So it's pretty amazing what you can do really fast to respond, pretty cutting edge. It has vision. It's connected to the internet. It's completely free. It can code. It has artifacts. Like, there's very little difference between this and some of the most powerful models in the world when it comes to AI. And also, it's pretty fast to respond, right? So it's coming back to us now with the details. Now, let's just double check something here. We're going to go over to Ollama. Ollama, Qwen is not available to download just yet, from what I can see on the newest model, but you can get previous versions of Qwen 2.5 over here, right? So if you type in Qwen and then you go to the options, you can download some of these models locally by Qwen. And then we've got the page ready to go right here, right? And then it's promoting the AI Profit Boardroom. We're good to go on that. It's linked directly to it. And it's used the vision option that we've come up with more, right? Now, if we actually select Thinking QWQ to improve the prompt even more, we can then start using this to build stuff out. So from here, I'm going to say, right, okay, make it more sleek, beautifully designed, plus add more content to the page. and make it the best design it can possibly be, with plenty of content about the AI Profit Boardroom. Plus, we'll say use the image from before of the AI Profit Boardroom to generate the code. Wait for that to load. And then it will just redo it, right? We can go back and forth in the chat. And it's really reliable as well. It seems to be pretty good right there. So it doesn't seem only the older versions are available on Olama. Let's just double check Open Router now. So we've got some of the latest models right here. Open Router is a great place for just getting the latest APIs, etc. And you can see the newest version of Qwen VL32B is available, and it's available for free to code with, right? So that's pretty cool as well, because now you can grab the API key from Open Router and then plug it into whatever your favorite tool is, right? We'll come back to that in a second. So if you want to grab an API key, just go to your keys inside your settings, and then you can create a key. And from here, you can actually use the newest version of Qwen for free to code, right? And bear in mind, like, this is almost as powerful as the latest cutting edge models like Mistral 3.1 or, for example, Gemma 3, which means that you get access to it for free and you can start coding stuff, right? So if we go inside the settings over here, and then we're going to select Open Router, and then from here, we'll type in Qwen, and we shall go to Qwen 2.5 VL32B instruct for free. All right, that's the latest version. We'll hit done. And now we can start using this code stuff, right? So if we say, okay, create a beautiful modern landing page for an SEO tool, make it the best you can. We can then automate coding using Qwen 2.5, and it doesn't cost us anything. Plus, it takes like 2 seconds to set up, right? How easy was that? This is inside Visual Studio Code. So you're just going to download Visual Studio Code, make sure you have client set up or root code, and then from here you can start doing your magic, all right? So now you can see it's coding out, creating the HTML. And in the meantime, we have the new landing page ready to go right here. It's even taken and extracted the testimonial. So for example, it's taken the testimonial from James Dooley and then plugged that into our article. The only thing that I don't like here is, like, it is functional and it works, but it's not as beautiful a design as, say, something like Claude, right? So if we gave the exact same prompt to Claude, it would create something much nicer in terms of UI. And also even DeepSeek, the new version of DeepSeek would create something much nicer. But you get the point. Like, you can use it. It's pretty free. It's powerful. It's easy to use. And because it uses Open Router and the API that's for free, then you can automate anything you want. We could also, for example, go over to NA10 and do the same thing. So if we go over to NA10 over here, we'll sign in, open this up. And inside NA10, we can actually create agents with Qwen 2.5, all right? So I'm just going to clone this workflow that I actually did for DeepSeek V3 this morning. And we'll change that now to Qwen 2.5 VL32B AI agent. Hit duplicate. Now we've got an AI agent. It's kind of like a chatbot that we can easily connect. I'm going to delete the Gmail integration right here. And then inside Open Router, we're going to switch to Qwen. And we want to use this one, right? Qwen 2.5 VL32B. And then inside the chat here, we'll say, okay, write an SEO article about AI in 2025. And you can see how easy it is to integrate Qwen inside this workflow. This is a super simple workflow. Like, you can make them much more complicated, but I just want to show you how easy it is to automate this stuff. And then we're good to go on that. I'll be 100% honest, it does seem to take a little while to load there. But you can see that's now done. So we've got the content for our AI blog. I mean, that was one simple prompt and it generated how much content? Like 1,000 words in one single prompt. And what we can also do from here is we can send the output to WordPress, right? So if we click on the plus sign from the AI agent, this is a linear workflow. So it's going from the chat message to AI agent, runs it through Qwen 2.5, and then we can send this over to WordPress, create a post. Here we go. Put SEO article example like so. We'll add a new field, we'll put content, and we'll just grab the output from the AI agent into the content section over here. All right, we'll test the step, make sure this works. That seems to have worked. So let's just go over to the dashboard over here inside WordPress, go to posts, SEO article example, preview it, and there we go. Look at that. All right. The only thing that I would say inside the prompt is that you want to say, okay, create this in HTML. So we'll do that in a second. We'll go back to the AI agent workflow. We're going to say now, okay, write an article about Julian Goldie in HTML format. All right. So now it should write the article in HTML format. We're plugging this through the AI agent. Obviously, there are much better prompts for this. If you actually want my best workflows for this, check out the AI Profit Boardroom, go inside the classroom, and you'll see my best prompts and workflows inside the AI SEO automation section. So wait for that to load, as you can see right here, and then that should send it over to WordPress once it's done. Now, the other interesting thing as well about Qwen 2.5 VL is that you can also generate videos, right? So, for example, you can use these examples. So if we say, okay, a cat breakdancing on the dance floor, it will start generating a video based on our prompt. Not the best prompt to give a video generator, but you get the point. Like, you know, this is one of the few models that can actually generate videos, and it does it for free, right? It's not costing you anything to use this method. So really simple and easy to do. You can get free access. The API works for free as well. We've got the blog posted, so I'm just going to refresh WordPress and we'll check if we've got that back from Qwen, which we have. And look at that. It's generated a nicely formatted article on exactly what we want. Using that process, super simple and easy. And we did that in the space of like literally a few seconds, just linking it over to WordPress. There's so much more you can do with NA10. If you want my best workflows, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. But you get the point. Like between the API and between the actual interface, like you can generate videos, images, you can search, you can use thinking mode. It doesn't cost you anything. It can write quite nice content. And it's also beating a lot of benchmarks. Plus, I'm pretty sure this is going to be available to host locally in the future as well, because these models, you know, for Qwen, for DeepSeek, all these models coming out of China are usually open source, right? So you can see previous models of Qwen are available to download and host locally inside Olama as well. All right. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get access to the AI Profit Boardroom, which is a community to make more money and save time with AI, feel free to get that link in the comments and description. Prices are going up at the end of the month, so make sure you sign up now. And this community will show you how to make more money and save time with AI. And if you have any questions, you ever get stuck, you can post inside the community and ask 530 members exactly what to do and how to do it with AI and get help whenever you need it. It also comes with all my best courses and optimizations and agents and workflows with AI, along with a crash course that will save you hundreds of hours, and all of my best SOPs that are pretty much updated daily, as you can see right here. So if you want to get that, link in the comments description. It comes with weekly Q&A, so you can jump on the Q&A calls and ask us any questions you have. And the prices are going up this month, so make sure you sign up now before you miss out. Appreciate you watching, and if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to get that. Link in the comments and description. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visits this month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a free custom tailored plan dedicated to generating you more leads, sales, and profits from your website. You'll be able to ask any questions you have, and you'll learn how to 10x SEO traffic based on what's working for us and our happy clients, like you can see right here. Feel free to get that link in the comments description. Appreciate you watching. Bye bye.